some on the ground for them hungry hounds who just got out the pound and are ready for the next round. So with that being said, make sure y'all grab your snacks, y'all drinks, y'all weed, whatever the case may be, because we finna jump right into this episode. Now y'all can see the title of this episode, this live, whatever you want to call it. Allegedly, it says in the title, because I've never seen this video before. I don't know what this dude's talking about. Allegedly, the Antichrist has arrived. I say allegedly. Jesus said that even now the Antichrist is here among us. His spirit is at work. I got a feeling this dude's talking about manifested here now in the flesh, like has taken over somebody's body and possessed him or whatever, is using his vessel to do his will. I don't know. I want y'all to know that you should listen, but take it with a grain of salt and understand that people will try and will use fear-mongering tactic to get views, likes, clicks, and views. So while you listen to it, keep in mind that it could be fake, but it could be real because we're living in some crazy ass times. Now, me personally, I enjoy going down these rabbit holes. If y'all don't know, I am a very spiritual person. I love learning more about, the spirit realm. And it's just something about when you read the book of Revelation and you read what's going to happen. There's something about it that you just can't deny. It's just like it pulls you in. Like you can't wait for it to happen, but at the same time you don't want it to happen because you don't want to go through it. But you can't wait for it to happen because you've always wanted to see something more, I guess. Proof of something more that's out there. And when I say something more, I'm not talking about aliens from outer space who fly in on UFOs and abduct people and stick probes up their asses. I'm talking about spiritually more. So, with that same desire to see more, you also have to make sure that you do not cross the line and start trying to conjure up the dead. Talk to the dead, communicate with the dead, because it is not the dead that you are talking to, but a demon. That's why Ouija boards are very looked down upon. At least they were looked very, look what it do. They were very looked down upon at a point in time. And then back in probably like what, 20, I think between 2015 and 2017, they started to become a trend, which is crazy. But yeah, people who die, they don't come back to life. They enter a rest. They enter a sleep. At least they did. And that is why you can't talk to them. That is why you cannot communicate with them. That is why you can't summon them. Because once their spirit leaves the body, that's it. Unless God himself puts your spirit back in your body, that is it. And it is no longer a human spirit that you are talking to, but a demon who is deceiving you. But with that being said, all that is to say, to listen with a grain of salt. Don't disregard it, but don't believe it. I haven't seen this video yet either. So right now, what this dude is going to be talking about will be remained as a conspiracy theory. But let's get into it anyways, because these are interesting.
One of the most terrifying prophecies has now officially come true. Pope Francis was just announced dead a couple hours ago, and everyone around the world are extremely scared about the prophecy that has now officially come true. Now, I don't know if you guys are aware of Saint Malachi, who prophesies that the Roman...
I know. This dude did not just say Malachi. Come on now.
Catholic Church will only have 112 popes before the final judgment day, and this is the time when the Saint Malachi's prophecy also states that now we will finally see Antichrist rising into power. Now, if you go down here to the Pope Malachi's prophecy, that you'll actually see that it is prophesied that after the death of the final pope, which is supposed to be Pope Francis, there will be the one last pope who's going to get elected, who supposedly, according to the prophecy, is going to be named as Peter. That the last pope before Peter the Roman comes to lead the church through the trials and tribulations before the destruction of Rome and the final judgment. Now, the final statement in the passage states that in the final persecution of the Holy Roman Church, there will reign Peter the Roman, who's supposed to be the next guy after the demise of Pope Francis, who will pasture sheep and will be greatly persecuted after the seven-hilled city, which will be destroyed, and the dreadful judge will judge the people, and that's going to be the end of the world. Now, after a couple of research, they actually...
The dreadful judge will judge the world. Who is the dreadful judge? Let's see. Who is worthy enough to judge an entire planet? I can think of one person and or being. And I'm sure you all know the name as well. Jesus Christ. Or the Father who sits on the throne. Or the Holy Spirit. Or all three of them in one. The way that that is worded, the way that that was just worded that he read, makes it sound to me like that is not a prophecy from, or a revelation from God, more so a revelation from an evil being. God, from what I understand, I could be wrong, God does not call himself the dreadful judge. He calls himself the righteous judge, judging righteously good and evil. He does not call himself the dreadful judge. The only person or thing who would call him a dreadful judge is somebody who does evil works and evil deeds. It's like if you go out there and you rob a store or you kill somebody and you get arrested and you go in front of the courthouse, in front of a judge, that judge to you is dreadful because that judge controls your fate. Whether you get the death penalty or you get life in prison or you get 25 years in prison or whatever the case may be, or you end up getting off scot-free somehow like your boy Carmelo Anthony. That's a whole different story. But the point is, it sounds like it is a deceitful quote-unquote prediction and or a way to throw people off from either a demon or Satan himself, the way that was worded. But let's keep going.
Found out that the seven-hilled city that they were talking about in this prophecy is nothing but the city of Rome. So it seems like somehow after the death of Pope Francis, there's going to be this new guy named Petrus the Roman, otherwise also known as Peter the Roman. Now, obviously, a lot of people were very skeptical in order to accept this prophecy. They said that it might even be some sort of a hoax because there is no reliable proofs or whatsoever. And the next candidates who are going to be selected to be the next pope are, number one, guy named Peter Turkson, and then we have Louis Tangle, and from Hungary we have Peter Erdo. And currently it seems like Vatican has already decided that Peter Erdo is going to be like the temporary pope until like all the situation is solved and until they pick like the next official pope. He's going to be like the temporary pope that's going to do all the work that a pope should. Now this right here is what the entire world is shocked about. It seems like there are three different guys that are supposed to be the successors, and out of three, both the guys are named as Peter. And that's what the prophecy also says, that after Pope Francis, there will be a guy named Peter the Roman, and he's going to be the final one who's going to be persecuted heavily, and this is going to be the time when the judgment day is going to arrive. And the prophecy also states that this...
So, going So let's continue the logic from what I was just talking about earlier, as far as it sounded like it was a deceitful revelation from a wicked being. The Catholic Church has fallen very far from where it allegedly originated from, where it started from, I should say, Christ centered. Even though I don't really know if that's where it started or not, because I know they pray to Mary and all this, that, and the third, and all this other shit. I don't know if that's how it started off or not, or if that was what it had turned into. If that was what it had turned into, it's understandable. If that's how it started, it's also understandable. And here's my point. He said that this Peter dude will be the Pope, leading the church through tribulations and be heavily persecuted. Who is going to be doing the persecuting? Is it going to be God punishing the church for leading people astray and praying to a physically dead person? Or will this Pope turn the church around and bring it back to being Christ-centered and Satan persecuting him and the Catholic Church? It's interesting when you think about it. Remember, this is all alleged. This is all a conspiracy theory right now with what this dude's talking about.
The second coming of Christ is going to be happening very soon, and it is also when the Antichrist is going to be rising up into power. Now, actually take a look at what's going on here.
The Pope has just passed away, but something bigger is happening behind the scenes. So this moment is making global headlines, but while people are mourning the death of Pope Francis, there's an ancient legend that's resurfacing that few people are talking about. Outside the walls in Rome, deep within the Basilica of St. Paul, there's a long hall of mosaic portraits. So this is not just a fine art gallery. This is a painting, a portrait of every pope that has ever been in position.
So they have like these plates that are like stuck on the wall. On each plate, they have like all the different popes that has ever existed so far.
And after Pope Francis, there's just one more plate. One more. And right now it's blank. I already seen like 5 videos on that whole thing. But yeah.
Also, what's surprising is that after Pope Francis, there's one empty plate, which kind of relates very much to the Saint Malachi's prophecy, where he also prophesies that after Pope Francis, there will be no other pope. There's just going to be this one guy named Peter the Roman, and during his reign as pope, the world is going to be ending, God is going to be judging, the Antichrist will be raising up, and the second coming will indeed happen. And watch this, because right
But here's
now...
the part you're not going to believe. So Pope Francis's face was added years ago. But now that he's passed, there's only one space left. That's right.
That's true.
There's one blank space remaining for the next pope. And so this is the ancient legend.
A lot of people are actually concerned right after giving his final blessings during Easter. And apparently a lot of people are saying that there could be various different reasons as to why he particularly had to die. We don't really know if it's a good omen or a bad omen. That's something that people of Vatican are terrified about. I'm going to play a small...
I think personally, it's either one of two things. One, he was just at that age and his body couldn't function the way it needed to function anymore, and it was just time for his time to go. Or two, God decided that it was time for him to go because of the blasphemous things that he was doing. Saying that homosexuality is okay in the church, it's not. Accepting transgenderism in the church, it's not. You know, all these different things that God stands against, the Pope was endorsing. So God could have said, you know what? I have given you your chance to repent and you have not listened. Now I will take your soul from you, from your body, longer be living on Earth. Or he could have just reached that age where it was just time.
Clip of my previous video where I explain on how they're going to be picking the next pope and what are the signs that you'll actually get to see. And after the 112th pope, we will finally get to see the Antichrist rising to power, and he's going to be revealing himself. Now, obviously, take a look at all the things that's happening around us in the world. The Euphrates River is completely drying up, which is also something that was already prophesied in Ezekiel's revelation. And it's not just that. We also saw deserts becoming forest, and there's also blizzard, snowstorm all over the Saudi Arabia in the middle of deserts, which is something that just seems so impossible to happen. And we also saw rivers lushing out of deserts, which is also something the prophecy has stated. And the prophecy also says that water will be turning red blood color. And we are also seeing these things happen right now. And one of the most important things is that Israel has already announced that they are sacrificing the 5 red heifers, which is already revealed to Ezekiel in Revelations, where he got to see that Israel was indeed sacrificing 5 red heifers, and there will be a massive all-out scale war.
You know, I remember seeing an article talking about how they were trying to start the construction of the Third Solomon Temple in 2025. Now, I don't know if it will happen or not. I think if that does end up happening, I think they're gonna end up starting it probably really late within the year. But I know they got all the stuff they need. You know, the ritual cups and bowls, and they got the menorah and all that stuff. You know, they just got the 5 red heifers from Texas. And, you know, they're ready to go. The only thing that's holding them up right now is the mosque that is built on the Temple Mount. And that's why there's a massive war over there right now. It's because they are arguing over whose land it is. When 1,000, probably like maybe around like 3,000 years ago, maybe like 2,500 years ago, 25 to 3,000 years ago, God told Abraham that he will give this land to you and your people, but they must first suffer through slavery in Egypt for a time. I don't know why he did it like that, but that's how he did it. But the point being is that God gave it to the Israelites, not the Muslims, not the Palestinians, not the Iraqis, the Israelites. Not the Jews that are over there, because those are the fake ass Jews. They're not real Jews. But the Israelites. That's their land. Fuck.
Throughout the entire world because of this stuff, and then they're going to be building the Third Solomon Temple, and after that the Jews believe that their Messiah is going to show up. But then in reality, according to Ezekiel, the Messiah that people have been waiting for is going to be the second coming of Christ. And nobody knows who this person could be. A lot of people are going to be applying for the post, of course, but then there's going to be this one person that will get elected, and the way that they announce to the entire world is using this smoke which is going to come out of the chimney. If you see a white smoke coming out of the chimney, this means that the new pope has been selected. Now, if there is black smoke coming out of the chimney, then this means that the decision is still pending, and they haven't yet found a good suitor for the position of pope. And a lot of people are saying that
this dude is sound asleep. Buddy, you straight, dog? I legit put a cracker right in front of your nose and you didn't even wake up. Here. You had me worried for a second. I thought you were dead. Lazily eating it while you're laying down is crazy. What's good? Hayes. I'm gonna call you Hayes.
He's the one, man. He's the one before the Antichrist is going to be rising into power. And whoever it is that's going to come into power, most probably, it seems like we are currently entering the phase called tribulation phase, where the Antichrist is going to be ruling the world. He's going to get into power, and he's going to be controlling a lot of people and deceiving a lot of people into following a path that is completely against God. So this guy, Antichrist, is supposed to be one of the biggest deceivers in the entire history of humankind. He's always been in the hiding, and he's never shown.
He's not one of the biggest deceivers. He is the biggest deceiver. He is employed by Satan himself, therefore he is the biggest deceiver, because Satan is the father of deception.
Himself to the world. And all right, now that you've seen that, it really seems like people are terrified because Peter Erdo is taking up the position of becoming the current temporary pope. And the prophecy already says that whoever is going to be the next pope is not actually going to be selected in the very same way as to how all the different popes got selected. This guy in particular is going to be very different. And according to the prophecy, it actually states that the last pope will preside over the church, culminating in the destruction of Rome and the end of papacy. The earliest prediction pulled that the prophecy of popes claims that the judgment day is finally near. And the prophecy also says that this Peter, whoever's going to be the next pope, is not going to be wearing the regular robes of any pope. It's going to be completely different from all the rest. And this is the time when the world is going to undergo a lot of persecution. And this is finally going to be the day of judgment, which is officially coming up. So everything feels very sketchy, very fishy at this point, because we have two different Peters that's supposedly going to be the next pope. So it's going to be very interesting to see who the next pope is and if their names are going to be matching whatever is already prophesized in the prophecy of Saint Malachi. So honestly, guys, I really don't know what to expect. And a lot of people actually believe.
Watch the next pope not even be a dude named Peter. I would laugh my ass off, bro. Like I said, this is all alleged. Right now it's considered conspiracy theories. Because, you know, I never heard of this book, The Prophecy of Malachi, until like a day or two ago. So it was found in the Vatican archives, deep within the archives, apparently. Which is why I say it's all allegedly conspiracy.
That Pope Francis was going to be the Antichrist at the end of the day. And obviously, I don't think he had any kind of qualities of being Antichrist. Maybe he was just controlled by that dude, but I don't think that he was Antichrist himself. And now it's proven that he officially had a human death, which means that he is not the Antichrist. And now it's time that we're going to be entering the final end games, and anything could be happening as of now. I would honestly love to know your opinions. Please leave them down below in the comments. It's going to be a very, very interesting one to go ahead and read, because all of you guys might be having different takes on this whole subject. I really want to know what your opinions are. Please leave your thoughts down below in the comments and share.
Let's also not forget, I think somewhere in Revelation it says that the Antichrist will suffer a fatal blow and will deceive people into thinking that he rose again just like Jesus did, and that is how he will deceive people into following him. He will deceive even the elect. So
This video to.
and it's funny because I've seen a lot of people say that Obama is the Antichrist. But honestly, I don't really see it. Maybe a little bit. But I could see more so him being like his right-hand man type shit, not actually him. The Antichrist to me it seems to be more like the Imam Mahdi type shit. You know, like that one dude that came out was talking about how he's the son of the Muslims from his father, and the son of the Jews from his mother, and the earth was inherited by him through his father, and he was a king that was dethroned, and all this other dumb shit. That to me sounds like something along the lines of what a more accurate Antichrist would sound like. But I could be wrong. I don't know.
Whoever you think actually needs to know about what's really going on around the world with the end times prophecy that's actually coming true right now. So we'll definitely see if the Saint Malachi's prophecy is indeed true, or maybe it's just another hoax. We'll just have to wait and see. And if at all, his name is going to be Peter the Roman. So yeah, I really hope you guys found this video helpful. If you guys did, please just take a few seconds of your valuable time, leave a like on this video. It really helps boost the algorithm, because YouTube works in a very mysterious way. You need to go ahead and like the video as well as comment in the video, and then YouTube algorithm thinks that a lot of people are liking it, a lot of people are commenting in it, which means that we need to show this video to more people. We need to spread the word more and let more people know about whatever content that this video has. So if you guys could just take a few seconds of your valuable time and do that, it would really mean a lot to me, because whatever stuff we are discussing right now in this video, I think a lot of people need to know those things, and many people around the world are actually missing out on what the truth is. And if you guys could just do your part in simply just supporting this content, it would really mean a lot to me. Now, forget.
So yeah, that is the alleged conspiracy about the Pope, the last Pope prophecy by some dude in the 12th century named Saint Malachi. Never heard of the dude before in my life. So, but it is funny how after the Pope dies, this Imam Mahdi dude comes on the scene talking all that shit about how he's the true Pope and he's more knowledgeable than any false Pope, and Christians need to obey him, and the Apostle Paul led the church astray, and all this other stupid shit. I don't know. It's just a funny coincidence. With that being said, I appreciate y'all for tapping in, man. Make sure y'all share with your friends, your families, your mummies, your aunties, your grannies, and everybody else y'all know. Hit that subscribe button and turn on the bell. Hit the bell notification. That way you get notified every time I go live and or upload a new video over here, and or upload new music, which is coming soon. I am out. Deuces.